Okay. I'm gonna give them 2 more minutes. Okay, because after that, I'm gonna just go straight into it. So go drop it in the chat. Let them know that once I start, I'm not going back. If you're late to the call, you're late to the call. Okay, 2 more minutes. We're gonna get right. All right. If you can hear and see me, drop a 777. If you can hear and see me, drop a 777. All right. All right. Let's go ahead and get right into it. It's recording. So for everybody who's late, it is what it is. But I'll make sure to get the information still. Get my laptop in here. Right into it. But in the meantime, drop how everybody feeling in the chat. Everybody, please drop how y'all feeling in the chat. Let me know how today has been, whether it's been productive, relaxing, telling, whatever the case may be. Let me know how y'all feeling so far and how y'all looking to end this beautiful Sunday night. We're gonna talk. Hendrix, we're gonna talk for tonight too. So, what I'm about to do is share my screen. Right into it. Okay. For those who do not have a TradingView account yet, please make one. Okay. This is what I use to just practice marking the charts, as well as use my own strategy. I use the Lauren, right? To really making sure that I have access to everything that I need on my own time as well. So please, if you haven't made a TradingView account yet, please do so. That's the best way to practice your own skill set and everything. As you can see, peso paid last week. Okay. So this today, right? Like I said, today is all about SRT. Today is all about SRT. Okay. I'm going to start from the fresh, right? All about SRT. So what is SRT? This is support, resistance, trend lines. SRT is support, resistance, and trend lines. All right, these 3 key terms right here is very, very essential in establishing the trend of the market and making sure that you are catching the best plays possible. Okay, you never want to catch the middle of a trend, and you never want to be caught in consolidation. I'm gonna show you exactly how to find out which type of market that you're in, so you can make sure that you are getting in the right trades at the right time and not getting played by the market. All right. So boom, SRT, support, resistance, and trend lines. Before I can even get into the exact definitions of those, you need to understand top-down analysis. You need to understand top-down analysis, okay? Top-down analysis, okay? This is starting from the higher time frames and working your way down to the lower time frames. Top-down analysis is starting from the higher time frames and working your way down to the lower time frames, okay? Top-down analysis is important because it actually helps you make sure you are identifying real strong areas of resistance and support in trends, okay? The higher the time frame, the stronger the trend is, all right? The higher time frame, when I'm talking about higher time frame, I am talking about the 4 hour or the daily, okay? 4 hour or higher, right? This is where the banks actually enter the market most of the times, right? They are thinking long-term plays, so they are playing on the 4 hour and the daily. So what does this mean for you? You need to understand that everything that you mark up on a 4 hour higher are stronger than everything that you mark up on the 15-minute or lower, right? So this is what top-down analysis is. So for example, I'm gonna go over, the next thing I'm gonna go over is what an uptrend and a downtrend is, okay? So you have SRT, you have top-down analysis, you need to know what an uptrend is, okay? Uptrend, a series of higher highs, higher lows, okay? Uptrend is a series of higher highs and higher lows. What is a higher high? A higher high is a high that is the price that is higher than the previous high. So for example, right, we have an uptrend right here. We have an uptrend right here. Boom, right? A higher high is a high that is higher than the previous high. So if you are in an uptrend and you see this price create a new high, this is a higher high. A higher low is when price creates a new low, but it's higher than the previous low. So for example, price starts doing this on the uptrend, you get a higher low, and it does not break this low, that is a higher low, all right? This low here that does not break the previous low is called a higher low. This is a confirmation that you're in the uptrend. So if y'all understand uptrend, drop A2 in the chat. If y'all understand uptrend, drop a 2 in the chat. Bet. Next thing is downtrend, okay? The next thing is a downtrend. A downtrend is a series of lower lows and lower highs. Okay, a downtrend is a series of lower lows and lower highs. So what does this mean? A lower low is just a low, a new low that is lower than the previous low. So for example, okay, you have this market doing this and you have price going down, right? Every time that the market goes down and creates a new low that is lower than the previous low, that is a lower low. Each time a new low is created, that is a lower low, okay? So lower low, lower low, lower low, okay? A lower high is when a new high is created, but it doesn't break the previous high, okay? So that means every time a low is created, when price corrects itself, this high does not break the previous high. So this is a lower high, and you continues that cycle. That's how you categorize or characterize a downtrend, a series of lower lows and lower highs, meaning that each low is lower than the previous low, but each high never breaks the previous high. If that makes sense, drop a 3 in the chat. That makes sense, drop a 3. Bet. Okay. The only other thing you need to know about now is like, what if it's neither? Don't mind barking, dog. All right. What if it's neither? This will be called consolidation. Okay. Consolidation is just sideways. Bailey. Consolidation. Hold on. Give me 1 second, Bailey. Okay. She's gonna keep barking. So if it gets too loud, let me know. All right. Consolidation is just sideways movement. This means that there are no new highs or lows. Okay. It is hitting the same high over and over. Market hitting the same highs and lows multiple times. Okay. That's consolidation. When we talk about consolidation, you will literally see this. Okay. You will literally see this. The market just moving sideways, not creating no newer high or newer low. Exactly like this. Okay. Oops. Wow. Okay. That is consolidation, right? As you can see, there's no new highs being created. They're all coming to the same exact point on both sides. All right. So there's 3 different types of trends in the market. All right. We went over an uptrend, series of higher highs and higher lows. We went over a downtrend, series of lower lows and lower highs. Consolidation means it's just moving sideways. So all this makes sense, drop a 4 in the chat. Okay. Now, if you need a screenshot, go ahead and screenshot. All right. You got 10 seconds. 8, 6, 4, 2, 5. All right. So what I want y'all to now write down is the line chart. line chart. Okay. Line chart consists of the open, close of a candle. Okay. Next session, I'll be going over candlesticks. Okay. But what I want y'all to understand is the line chart will show you the true price of the market. Okay. The line chart consists of open, close of a candle. All right. This will show you the true price of the market. Okay. This will show you the true price of the market. So if you are on TradingView or if you're looking on the products itself, you actually have the ability to change to the line chart. Where you see these candles up here, you will click on that and go to line. And this is what you'll see. Okay. This is what you'll see. All right. What the line chart will do is actually show you true structure, minus the wicks, minus all the noise. Okay. So the line chart is here for you because it'll actually help you with precise structure and true structure, because there's such thing as false support and resistance. And this is where a lot of people will get stopped out. Right. So I will go over some examples later, but I just want to introduce you to the line chart because this is what we're going to be using. Okay. The next thing you need to know is, how do I find support and resistance? Okay. For all SRT, you are looking for at least 3 touches. Okay. And I'm going to go over what these touches are. Okay. You're looking for at least 3 touches for all SRT. You're looking for 3 touches for all SRT. Now, what does this mean? Right? It's time to go into the definitions. Support. Support is a series of lows that have been verified for structure. Right? Series of lows that have been verified for structure. This is what support is. A series of lows that have been verified for structure. Like I said, everything for SRT involves 3 touches. Everything for SRT involves 3 touches. So if support is a series of lows that have been verified for structure, we're looking for at least 3 touches at the bottom, right, for support. So perfect example here. This is on a daily time frame, but price came around, the market came around this price level at least 3 times. Okay. At least 3 times. If you want to be more precise, we drop down to the 4-hour. I'll show you what I mean. At least 3 touches, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. At least 3 touches. So when price comes to a certain level, a certain floor, multiple times, this is support. If this makes sense, drop a 1 before I continue. Okay. Right. Boom. Resistance. Resistance is a series of highs that have been verified for structure. Okay. Now, some terms to really like have you relate to this. Support is just a floor, right? Prices came into this area multiple times. It's very hard for price to break this level. 1, 2, 3, floor. Resistance right? Resistance is like a ceiling. Okay, resistance is like a ceiling. This is like you jumping and hitting your head too many times, so you give up. Okay, that's how I like to look at it. Resistance is just you done came to this price level so many times, and it's been verified that you're not going any higher, so you just give up. If you understand resistance, drop a 2 in the chat. All right. So when it comes to support and resistance, right, please make sure y'all screenshot this for taking notes. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right. Boom. When it comes to support and resistance, go ahead, John.
So I was gonna, can you hear me?
Yeah.
I was gonna say, when you said that for what was it, support? You said you looking for 3 touches, and the same thing goes for the resistance, right?
Yes, sir.
All right, cool. All right.
So yeah, support and resistance, you're looking for 3 touches always, right? I haven't gotten to trend lines yet, but that would be the same exact rule that applies to that too. But what you need to know about support resistance is that just like life is not perfect. Okay, there's 3 different types of scenarios you will see when it comes to drawing a support and resistance line. Okay, so I am going to show you exactly what I mean. First situation, right? You will have, let's say you're on a downtrend. Okay? And the market comes to this price level, does its 3 touches, and then reverses, right? Creating a support. This is a perfect touch, okay? This is a perfect ideal situation, okay? Same thing for the uptrend. Say that the market goes up, it's the same price level 3 times, and decides to go down, right? No, my drawing is ugly, but right, this is ideal situation. This is the perfect touch, okay? So 3 scenarios. You have the perfect touch. Next one you have is the overlap. And the third one is the gap, okay? Perfect touch, overlap, gap. So you can write that down, right? This is the perfect touch scenario. Overlap scenario, same thing applies, right? Say you're on the downtrend. Right? Come to this price level, but price overlaps and then continues to the upside. This is all right. Okay. The support level still applies. You just have a little overlap now. And you still have the uptrend that followed. Okay. Still have the same same structure of support. Same thing for an uptrend, right? You have your uptrend, perfect touch, decides to overlap a little bit and continue on the downtrend, right? Still a strong level, still a valid level of resistance. You just have a slight little overlap. Okay. The next one is the gap. Okay. Next one is the gap. When it comes to the gap, this is when you have a downtrend, right? Price does what it does, and it comes just short of that level. I'm actually gonna redraw this. Boom. So we have a downtrend, right? First time it touches, perfect. Second time, gaps again, and gaps again. and then takes off. Okay. You will see this situation a lot because 9 times out of 10, the market might not come to that complete support level. So make sure people aren't coming and collecting their money fully, right? Then you have the uptrend, right? Say we have this uptrend, same rule applies, perfect touch. Then it starts to leave a gap and then continues the downtrend, okay? These are the 3 different types of situations you will see when it comes to support and resistance. Now, if you want to encompass the entirety of these 3 situations, this is where we have the term supply and demand zone, okay? This is where supply demand zone comes in, right? All this is an area of support and resistance. Right, an area of support is important. An area of support and resistance. Okay. Instead of just having in the line, you can encompass a zone. Instead of encompassing the line, you can encompass a zone. All right. So you know when price gets into the specific zone, this means that you are reaching a level, you're reaching different levels of support and resistance. Okay. So if you feel that you are more comfortable in creating a zone, this is what you'll do to make sure, okay, once market enters this area, it's time to look for my next confirmations. Remember, this is just a step to what you need to know, right? That's why I said next time we're doing candles. Candles are going to complement exactly everything that I'm showing you right now in SRT. Okay, because you will see price enter the supply demand zone, right? And then you'll start seeing candlesticks confirmation telling you that, okay, this was a support, or okay, this was resistance. Now it's time to go down. Or okay, this was definitely a support level. Let's take off. That's the next phase. But you need to understand what it is first. Okay. So if you understand supply demand zone, which is an area of support and resistance and not just a price level, drop a 5 in the chat. All right, boom. So, like I said, those are the 3 different types. Perfect touch, overlap the gap to find a zone. Once you find this zone, you have an understanding of where price can come into, and this is where you'll start seeing consolidation. Okay, I'm gonna go over some examples. All right, y'all got 5 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Boom. The next thing is trend lines. All right. And then I'm gonna go over exactly how to use it in real time. All right. Trend lines. Okay. You still are looking for 3 touches. So usually it's 3 consecutive touches or more. So I'm gonna say 3 or more consecutive touches of highs or lows. Okay. 3 consecutive touches of highs and lows. What do I mean? Remember, when establishing an uptrend or a downtrend, you have a series of higher highs and higher lows, or lower lows and lower highs, right? If you are in a downtrend, your series of lower highs can be used to create a trend line. Your series of lower lows can be used to create a trend line, right? You have 3 touches, boom. You have 3 touches, boom. Those are trend lines, okay? Same thing for an uptrend, okay? Uptrend has a series of higher highs and higher lows. A series of 3 or more result in you being able to create a trend line on both sides, right? You use the higher highs to create a trend line, or you use the higher lows to create a trend line, okay? Boom. Trend line number one, trend line number two, okay? This helps you create a tunnel, right? This tunnel will help you determine, okay, once price comes back and touches this opposite trend line, what do you expect, right? Of course, you're using other confirmations as well, but if you're just looking at the trend of the market, right? Say for this one example, by the time you got the third touch, what do you expect, right? 1, 2, 3. If it comes back, what do you expect, right? A trend line is just a moving support or resistance level. I won't say moving. A diagonal support resistance level, okay? So it works the same way, the same 3 different scenarios still apply, right? 9 times out of 10, you will see what? Perfect touch, an overlap, or a gap, right? This is why I said SRT is the foundation to anything else you learn with trading, because you need to be able to identify these things and then apply your confirmations. All right. So that's why I said this week I'm slowly breaking down SRT, right? Because you need to understand how to find these things first before applying candlesticks, before you start applying different tools that you can use.
I have a question.
Yes.
If what, oh my God, is it the most recent 3 touches that we're looking at, or is it that you basically just draw it out the whole length of the line?
So
Like I see you only did one little part there, but so is it that we look for the ones that are most recent next to the line that it hasn't been made yet?
So when it comes to actually drawing the line, you're looking for a minimum of 3 touches. It can have more than 3 touches. As far as which ones do you find to do most recent, understand, if you are marking up, this is where top-down analysis come in. I'm going to go into that in a minute too. But if you're looking to mark multiple trend lines, as long as your trend line has at least 3 touches, you start seeing structure. You can draw multiple trend lines. I don't think it's coincidence how this trend line matches up with this one, and you had this rejection right here. Make sense? There's no coincidence why I drew this trend line and this one, and they both cross right around here, and you had this rejection for a sell. Right?
Okay, gotcha.
I can even probably go back to this one. Right? Let me see. I don't think that was good. Right? These two just prove the point. The more touches you have, the stronger it is. And the fact that you had 2 different trend lines coming here to create a point of rejection right here. I'm gonna go deeper into this, okay, to show you. Now, top-down analysis, like I said, you start from the higher time frame and you work your way down, okay? So whenever you're marking up the chart to get true structure, understand that you need to start at the higher time frames, no matter what type of trader that you are, okay? Because even if you're a scalper working with the 1 minute, 5 minute time frames, you do not want to get caught lacking because you're hitting a 4-hour structure that you didn't know about and wonder why they pulled back so hard. Okay, so this is something everybody needs to understand, no matter whether it's FRX, HFX, whatever the case may be, because this is beneficial for everybody to understand how to find true structure. Okay, so boom, we're on the daily time frame. Have already just marked up 2 trend lines, and I can also mark up another one based upon the lower lows. Okay, I'm gonna show you exactly how you use this and why I drew it like this in the first place. Okay. And I'm gonna show you something when I go to the smaller time frame. All right. But when you mark up support and resistance, understand that. Okay. Actually, go ahead, John.
I was gonna say, speaking of time frames, because you remember you said scale back to the like the bigger time frames instead of the smaller ones. So I was just wondering what, as far as scaling back on time frames, what time frames do you suggest that we, that we could scale back on, in order, if you know what I mean. But what's the best time frames to scale back on?
So start from the 4 hour to the daily. Okay. I'm starting with the daily. That's usually what I do. And then you work your way down to whatever time frame that you trade on. If you're a scalper, work your way down to the 5 minute. If you're an intraday, work it down to the 15. If you're a swing, you're probably not going lower than the 1 hour to begin with. Right. So, but overall, you are starting from the daily to the 4 hour. All right. So I'm gonna show you real quick. This is USD CAD, and we're just gonna mark up structure. I already did the trend line. The next thing I'm gonna do is support and resistance. All right. When you do support and resistance, you don't have to go mark them up all the way up here. Keep in mind that if you're on the day or 4 hours, stay as close as to price as possible, but don't be afraid to look back in time to see what levels are. Okay. Don't be afraid to see what levels are. Boom. This is a level here. Right. And what you can do, right, to keep track of structure and what time frame you're on, if you double click and go to text, you can type daily structure. Okay. You can set it as a specific color, whatever you want to do. Just make sure you see that this level is, this support is daily structure. Okay. The reason I chose this one, right? 1, 2, multiple touches within this area, right? And it also works as a support and a resistance. Okay. Another line that I could use is right here. When I drop the time frame, you'll see this is 1 touch. There's 2 touches in here, and this is the 3rd touch, exactly where price opened up today. Right. So you are keeping in mind that you just want to keep price in the loop. Right. 3rd one is about right here. You have the gap, perfect touch, overlap. Right. So this is all daily structure. Oops. So literally doing the same thing, type of daily structure. Okay. And you don't want to go too crazy on the lines because they will start adding up. Okay. So when you start from the higher time frame, just mark up a nice little area, right? You see that right now we are at a very strong daily structure. So now that you established that, go down to the 4 hour time frame. Okay. What do you see here? Right now you're starting to see a little bit more noise. And this is exactly what you do, right? You go to the 4 hour, mark up structure again, right? You see that down here is ideally a 4 hour structure. So 4 hour structure. And you can change the color. I'm gonna change it to blue. Okay. This is a 4 hour structure. All right. Same thing applies here. Look back in history, right? You see where price currently is right now, and look for those touches, right? Boom. Right here, 4 hour structure. See? 4 hour structure. And I think that's pretty good because the daily structure is really telling you a lot right now.
Oh, so those are all the touches off the trend line, right?
What?
So you looking for those touches off of the diagonal trend line?
That's part of it too. You're still looking for support and resistance as well. Trend
Okay.
line, extra confirmation.
Okay.
So I'm gonna go through all of it too. All right. So after you mark up your 4-hour structure, drop down to the next time frame. All right. Now we're down to the 1 hour. With the 1 hour, you start seeing a whole lot more noise and a whole lot more structure. Okay. This is where you can go in, stay close to price as possible, right? And start marking it up. As you can see, right here was a level of resistance before it finally broke through. Again, go change the color. I'm gonna make this green. This is going to be 1 hour structure. It's going to be 1 hour structure. I'm gonna do another one. You can always just copy and paste it if you don't want to keep typing, right? 1 hour structure right here. Actually, cut this off. Cut this off. The reason I put this one, right? Touch, or perfect touch, overlap, gap, right? And we have touches back in the past as well. And then I'm gonna do one more 1 hour structure right here, okay? Touch, so that's overlap. Got some noise over here. And here we go over here, right? And this is 1 hour structure. Okay. You can do the 30-minute if you want. I don't do the 30-minute that often, but usually I just go straight to the 15-minute, right? But once you drop down to 15-minute, you see exactly how on smaller time frames, how the market has been moving. You start understanding a little bit more, right? Whenever you get to these higher time frame structures, what do you start seeing? Consolidation, right? Consolidation before the stronger move. Consolidation before the stronger move, right? Consolidation before the stronger move. Now we're back in the daily structure. What are you seeing? Consolidation, right? So this is why we go to a smaller time frame, so we can still play the consolidation moves, right? You don't want to wait. I mean, some people like to wait. That's why they're swing traders. You can wait a couple of days until market gives you the play to continue on, or you can break it down a little bit further, find stronger levels, find the levels on smaller time frames, and start playing those levels, right? This is the 15-minute. This one I'm gonna make red, okay? This is the 15-minute structure. 15-minute structure, okay? The next one that's not already marked up is about right here. Okay, so as you can see, once you start having these structures, you don't have to keep remarking them up. Okay, you have your daily, so you know that's going to be the strongest, right? You have your 4 hour up here. Hence, what happened when it came up here? Rejected, right? Daily came up to this point, rejected, big gap on the daily structure, continued the downtrend. Now, if all of this makes sense so far as support and resistance, drop a 1 in the chat, okay? I'm about to actually go deeper into drawing trend lines next too, okay? So you have your structure, right? Remember, daily is always gonna be the strongest, 4 hour, 1 hour, down to the 15, down to the 5, okay? So as you can see, what happened when we start incorporating a larger time frame trend lines, right? We started from the daily. Now it's time to do the trend lines starting from daily down to the 4 hour. All right, so let's go through these, right? Same rules still apply. You're looking for a series of higher highs and higher lows, or a series of lower lows and lower highs, right? Let's go through it. What happened here, right? Let me see if I can find a good one that didn't mark up yet. So the same thing with trend lines, you can actually color coordinate to make sure that you are aligning with structure, right? If you want to keep it the same color as your daily structures, make it orange. These are my daily ones, right? You start looking at the 4 hour and you start seeing that the trend lines are starting to do the same thing, okay? They're starting to line up pretty well still, right? I could change this color to the 4 hour, which is blue, right? Just so you can see it. Just so you can see it, okay? As you can see now, we have touches. Perfect touch, perfect touch, perfect touch. It's not a coincidence that if you extend this, price came and touched it again. Price came and touched it again, right? Before I even go down to the smaller time frames, already on the 4 hour, I have an idea of where to look for the next movement, the next move, right? You're on the 4 hour. You could have marked up price right here on the 4 hour. I'm gonna change this to the 4 hour structure, which is blue. Boom. What happened here? One, a gap, perfect touch, overlap. This is your level of support. Every time you came around this support level, price had a hard time of breaking it or staying below it. Then it finally broke, right? This support level became a resistance level, right? 1, 2, 3. Price had a hard time breaking it at least 4 times. So the next time price come up to this level, what are you looking for? You have your trend line from the daily. You have your trend line from the 4 hour. I haven't even gotten down to the 15-minute, but I already know if price comes and hit this level, on top of my other confirmations, we're catching this sale, right? So I'm actually gonna circle this so I can show y'all exactly what I mean. 1 hour, right? You see the noise, right? This is consolidation. It's playing between the 4 hour structure and the daily structure. This is why the higher structure is important. When you start hitting these structure levels, you start seeing a lot more consolidation versus you hitting the 1 hour to 15. You see, it kind of just blows through it, right? Kind of just blows through it. But when you start hitting structure levels like this, it takes a lot more, right? Resistance. Hit the same high multiple times. So the next time it hits it on top of a trend line trade, trend line confirmation, don't you think that, you know, everything is lining up for a sell at this point? This is how you use SRT and market structure. And this is how people are actually able to just use naked trading, right? This is just step one. I'm gonna keep emphasizing it. Understanding structure is the first step. Then you apply the candles, okay? So you understand structure. You understand where to find specific points in the market where price gives you hints as what's about to happen next. Look at this, right? Boom. The downtrend, series of lower lows and lower highs, right? Consolidation, same high and low is being bounced back and forth. New low is created. I have the recording, so I'll drop it later so you can catch up, right? A new low is created. Boom. Lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. Then you have consolidation again. Then what happened? A new high is created. Higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high. Now the trend is over, right? Soon as this next high does not break this previous high, that's the end of the uptrend. Soon as this new low is created, now you're in the downtrend. Boom, or a low, or a high, low, low. Quick little downtrend. Now you're in consolidation. So when you're looking at the chart, it's not a bunch of noise anymore. All you need to look for is specific points of highs and lows and then find the trend. Higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, so on and so forth, right? You can do all three of these. Can you catch a small buy? Can you catch a small buy in this section? Yeah. Right? This is why I drew this trend line, right? All it did was come back into the trend line that I drew on daily structure. If you wanted to, this is why I tell you top-down analysis is key, right? This is your daily structure, but if you're on the 1 hour and the 4 hour, guess what? If you start marking up trend lines on the 1 hour, now you see what's going on, right? This is the 1 hour, so I'll make it green. Boom. Right? Touch, 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 gone. This is where you start putting them together. Whenever you see a trend line and an important level of structure start pinching, that means a move is about to happen. Whenever you see a trend line and market structure start pinching, almost like a greater than or less than sign, right? Start pinching like this, that means a move is about to happen. That means a move is about to happen. In this whole little sequence right here, you have a series of higher lows amidst hitting the same high over and over. Right? This means that the market is definitely about to make a move very shortly. Right? All you're waiting for is a new high to be created to create a higher high. And as soon as you get that higher low confirmation, boom, you catching all this. So literally what I just drew out, you are seeing this happen in real time, right? You are seeing that pinch happen in real time. So what I want to do is actually drop to the smaller time frames to see if I can see it. If it goes back that far, it does, right? And I'm doing this all on the line chart. I haven't gotten to the candles yet, right? This is just understanding structure and being able to truly find levels. Okay. Boom. We drop down to here on the 15-minute time frame. What do we see? Same thing applies. You are still having this trend of higher lows take place, even though a new high isn't really being created. That means a pinch is taking place. Same touches. Once you get to this point, guess what you can do? You have a new level of resistance on a higher time frame, right? You have a gap, overlap, gap, perfect touch, right? I told you, once you see price start pinching like this, you will see structure give you the story, okay? Boom. All right, this is all making sense so far. Drop a 3 in the chat. All right, I still want to make sure I got y'all. All right. Still want to make sure I got y'all. This makes sense. Drop a 3. So not only do you just find another 15-minute structure, what I use color, you'll use red. Right? Thing you'll start seeing more is a support becoming a resistance, or resistance becoming a support. Okay. All this means is when price decides to break a support level and retest it, it now becomes a break a resistance level and retest it. It now becomes a support level, right? You see right here, price had a hard time breaking this level multiple times. And it wasn't just a soft rejection. It rejected hard 3 times. So the next time it came to this level and broke out, guess what? It hit you with the overlap, right? This is where those zones come into play, right? Because now you have a 15-minute structure right here per touches for support. And now this is where the supply and demand zone is. So you're not getting faked out because it's still in your zone. But as soon as you get candlestick confirmation, you're gone, right? So let's break it down. Let me just look at the candles, right? Show you exactly what happened, right? Perfect touch, perfect touch. You see that the wicks will trick you, right? But you also have an understanding. I even know this wick was here and this structure is perfect, right? The wicks are just stop hunts at the end of the day. You see, every time price came into this little supply and demand zone, a lot happened. Aggressive, 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 aggressive. Stayed below, took everybody's money, retested, and then took off, right? You are still in alignment with this supply and demand zone. Candlestick patterns, all of that allowed you to take this buy. Okay. Remember what I said, when price starts giving you that wedge, something's about to happen. It gave you a wedge for the next, this was all in the span of a day, I think, 2 days, right? Gave you a wedge, then gave you the confirmation, right? And then now it's back above our daily trend line. Boom. Retested the daily, bought. Tested it again, bought. Tested it a third time, took off. And in the midst of that, all this was a level right here. Multiple touches. Tested it again, boom. Just using structure alone, you seeing what the market wants to get, right? On a larger time frame, this is consolidation. This push broke out the consolidation play, retested into an uptrend, right? Higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, so on and so forth. All right, so you are catching the buy because the trend on the larger time frame is a downtrend. You need to understand that this is a counter trend on a daily structure. A counter trend is the opposite of the trend on a larger time frame. Okay. So yes, you still could have caught this, but you also needed to understand that if it came up short of these trend lines at the top, it was going to continue the overall trend that we found on the 4-hour and the daily, right? That's all that means. Okay. Well, you come back here. After that, what happened? A new low was created. A new low was created on the 15-minute, right? Lower low, lower high, resistance, drop. Lower low, lower high, resistance, drop. Lower low, lower high, resistance. We had a slight drop. Okay, it's pulling back. Up, a new high is created. Boom. Higher low, a new high was not created. Now you're in consolidation, right? And then now you have this 15-minute play. Trend line, and you see what happened to end the day last week. The market just opened and now it's playing consolidating. Okay. I go back to the line chart just to show you. All right. 3 touches. 1, 2, 3. The drop didn't happen for no reason. On top of that, it broke support, retested, and dropped to retest this daily structure. And now it's in consolidation between these two levels. That's it. So in consolidation, understand it's just moving sideways. Wait till you get confirmation. For my scalpers, you could be playing this. Boom, boom, boom. The same rule still applies for trend lines, right? You have trend lines on 2 different time frames, get ready to create another wedge. What do you think is about to happen? It's either going to break out and buy up to the next level, or it's going to break through and continue to downtrend to the daily structure. Watch USD CAD and tell me if I'm right or not later. If you're looking at the charts tonight, in the next couple hours, watch USD CAD and tell me if I'm wrong or not on the 5-minute time frame. It will either break out, continue up, or it will break down out of this consolidation zone and continue down. Go ahead with your question.
So I was gonna say, so when it comes to consolidation, is it to where, because I've been hearing you can't trade it at all if it's a consolidation, or if you do trade it, is that the time we can trade it on smaller time frames?
Yes. So whenever you're in consolidation, you need to understand that you never want to trade in the middle of consolidation. So remember, for example, in the midst of this consolidation here, right? You never just want to trade in the middle of this, right? You either want to catch it at the high or catch it at the low after it's a verified consolidation, right? You can even put this over here. You can put this over here. Once it's a verified consolidation area, right? You just playing off the highs and playing off the lows. Never catch the middle, right? Even in the midst of this, like I said, it always boils back down to what type of trader you are. If you're an intraday, you're not trading the middle of this. You're waiting for the break to continue down, or you're waiting for the break up to continue up. This is where patience comes into play. In consolidation, you don't know which way the market's going to go. So you're going to wait for confirmations, right? This is why I said the next training I do, you're going to understand candles. And candles are going to tell a whole story that you didn't even know about. But you need to understand the structure first, how to find the structure. So when you start getting these candle confirmations, you be like, oh, that makes sense, right? Breakout, retest, gone. All it was consolidating, collecting money on both sides. Up, we tricked the sellers. What is that? Yeah. We tricked the sellers. Oop, tricked the buyers, stop outs, gone. Right? This level right here, breakout, retest, boom. That's all it is. Okay. So whenever it comes to consolidation plays, never play in the middle unless you're on a smaller time frame if you're scalping, right? This is what I usually do when I start doing HFX, right? Just because I'm scalping, I know I can catch quicker plays on a smaller time frame in the midst of consolidation, right? You see that it came down to this specific level, and now even on the 5-minute, you have consolidation level right here. This high and low took a very long time to actually break, right? So you can play it off the highs for the sells, play it off the lows for the buys. Understand, once you start getting closer to the move, you're gonna get spike outs. Remember, this is 5-minute structure. The 1-hour structure held strong, but because you knew that, by the time you start seeing it come up here, you understood exactly what happened. Change to the candles. Spike out just to continue the downtrend. Literally, consolidation, spike out play to the next level of structure, which was on the 1 hour. While everybody but hurt about stop losses, getting stop on it. People like me know exactly what happened, right? Came back into the consolidation zone, the next candle. Boom, broke through, retested to the next structure, retested again, and there she goes. Okay. Consolidation level right here. Same thing. Same exact thing. Play the highs, play the lows. 9 times out of 10, when you're in consolidation, you will have it on the top, you will have it on the bottom. Structure at the top, structure at the bottom. Whatever sides get broken first, wait for the retest, candlestick confirmation, catch it. This new level is created here. Now, this is where you have supply demand zone. Right. Now, this is where you have supply demand zone. Boom. Not a coincidence that it came back and wicked it 3 times before the drop. Just to come back and do it again and now consolidate. And here we are. 5-minute time frame, guess what? Won't be surprised if this continues consolidating or it finally breaks out and start retesting the highs. If all of this makes sense, drop a 777 in the chat. All right. So this is what I wanted to go over for, as far as SRT. Got you some line chart sauce, right? You know how to find SRT. You know how to draw the structure, support, resistance, trend lines. You understand top data analysis, right? You should understand what type of trader you are. Remember, swing traders, usually 4 hours or higher, right? Intraday, 15-minute up to the 1 hour, maybe the 4 hour for structure. Swing traders, you're usually going to be 1 minute up to the 15-minute tops. However, I believe every trader needs to do top-down analysis. So when you get to levels like this, you're not surprised when there's a bunch of noise. But once you catch 15-minute, 5-minute structures, you catch quick plays and you understand what's going on. Makes sense? All this was a reach on multiple times. And I bet you people were sniping sales every time it hit the top. Until a new high were created. And then you started catching buys right on the flip side. That's it. So outside of that, next Sunday is 4th of July. And guess what USD CAD is doing? It looks like it wants to buy up. Next week is 4th of July, so I will not be doing one just because I know a lot of people are not going to be available around 7 p.m. Central, especially when it starts getting dark outside. So I will be back the following week. Now, with the following week, which is the 14th, no, the 11th, I will be doing candlesticks. I will be going all about the candles. And I will give y'all a tool, a book, if you will, called the Candlestick Bible. Okay. With this gives you all the different types of candlestick confirmations, candlestick patterns, so on and so forth. Okay. I'll be breaking it down. I'll be breaking down the candle for you, how to actually read a candle, and we'll go from there. And that takes the next step, is becoming a trader. Okay. So outside of that, you see exactly what it's doing. About to retest this level. But I appreciate y'all for taking the time to hop on this session. As you can see, the USD CAD, I ain't say this for nothing. The wedge is either going to break out to continue higher or break lower. Structure is a game changer. And you understanding it will help you be successful not only in trading, but in everything involving it, right? Boom. We're in a consolidation play. Play the bottom, play the top. Overall, we're still in a downtrend, so don't be surprised if it starts letting up before creating a new high on the 15-minute to the hour. Right? Boom. Lower low, lower high, lower low. Lower high might be happening, so don't be surprised if it starts turning down. Right? The market is just about patience. Once you have the patience to actually look at the market in the right way. There is no reason you should ever get upset about what happens in the market. All right. I appreciate y'all for taking the time to hop on this session. And I will see y'all tomorrow for my trading session.